Most people think salt is the enemy. Doctors, diet plans, and even health ads.
Salt, one of the most basic ingredients in our kitchens.
कि जरूरत से ज्यादा नमक का सेवन करने से दुनिया में 70 लाख लोगों की मौतें हो सकती हैं।
Often say that if you have high blood pressure, the first thing you must do is cut down on salt. But is salt really the villain, or is it made out to be? Or have we misunderstood the role it plays in our health? I want you to pause for a moment and think. Almost every packaged food label shouts low sodium, as if that alone makes it healthy. But let me ask you this, if salt is the biggest cause of blood pressure, why do some people eat salty food every day and still never develop hypertension? And why do others who eat very little salt still struggle with their blood pressure and even diabetes? The truth is much more interesting. Today I want to show you why our understanding of salt is wrong, why the real culprit is often ignored, and how you can actually improve your blood pressure and overall metabolic health without living on a tasteless diet. Salt has always been linked to high blood pressure because sodium does attract water in the body. And logically, when you eat more salt, your body temporarily holds more water. And this will slightly increase the blood volume and hence the blood pressure. And that is where the connection of salt with blood pressure comes from. But here is where the story gets exaggerated. Research shows that for most healthy individuals, salt does not raise blood pressure significantly. In fact, studies reveal that only 1 in 4 people, called as salt-sensitive individuals, actually experience a major increase in their blood pressure due to sodium intake. That means that for majority of people, salt alone is not the deciding factor. Another important detail to remember is that your body is very intelligent. The kidneys work hard to balance salt levels in the blood. If you eat more salts, your kidneys will excrete more through urine. If you eat less, they hold on to it. So the idea that just reducing salt drastically will automatically lower your blood pressure is not completely accurate. Of course, if someone has kidney disease or high blood pressure, salt restriction is very important for them. But for most otherwise healthy people, salt is not the main problem. Something else is at play. So let us shift our attention to the real culprit that is silently affecting millions of people: insulin resistance. Insulin is the hormone that helps your cells absorb glucose from the blood for energy. When the body becomes resistant to insulin, your cells stop responding properly. This forces your pancreas to release even more insulin and push glucose inside your cells. Over time, this condition can lead to high blood sugar, weight gain, and eventually diabetes. But wait, what does all these things have to do with blood pressure? A lot. High insulin levels make your kidneys retain more sodium and water, which increases blood volume and raises your blood pressure. So insulin resistance is one of the factors. Insulin resistance also causes stiffening of blood vessels, reducing the nitric oxides, which normally helps the blood vessels to relax. And it also increases the sympathetic nervous system activity. All these changes in turn contribute to high blood pressure. That means even if you eat very little salt, but your insulin levels are high, then you can still get high blood pressure. And this is why so many people who strictly follow low salt diets still struggle with hypertension. They're targeting the wrong problem. Now here's a surprising twist. When people suddenly cut down salt to extremely low levels, it can actually worsen insulin resistance. And let me explain why. Low salt intake activates a system in our body called as the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system, or RAAS. This system increases the stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, which in turn can raise the blood sugar and worsen insulin resistance. Several studies have found that very low sodium diets impair glucose metabolism and can even raise cholesterol and triglyceride levels in some people. So the very thing that people do to protect their heart which is cutting out salt completely, may actually backfire by making insulin resistance worse. And as we already discussed, insulin resistance is a strong driver of high blood pressure than salt itself. That does not mean you should go to the other extreme and eat unlimited salt. Balance is key. What this shows us is that focusing only on salt is a narrow approach. The bigger picture is to improve your metabolic health and insulin sensitivity. And here's where you remember these 4 pillars of eating to keep your insulin low. The first pillar is to reduce the refined carbohydrates. It's not just the sugars I am talking about. White rice, pasta, white bread, sugary snacks, packaged foods, they are the biggest culprits behind insulin resistance because they cause sharp spikes in your blood sugar level and hence the insulin. You can replace them with whole grains like brown rice, millets, oats, or even quinoa. These foods help to release glucose slowly and hence keep the insulin level stable. The second pillar is to prioritize protein. Protein is essential not just for muscle strength, but also to control your appetite and maintain stable blood sugar. You may increase number of proteins in your diet. For people in their 40s and above, we have a separate video about how protein can help to preserve your lean muscle mass, which is important for your metabolic health. The third pillar is to include healthy fats. For years, fats were demonized just like salt. But healthy fats from nuts, seeds, avocados, and fish actually improve insulin sensitivity. Omega-3 fatty acids in particular reduce inflammation and protect your heart. Cooking oils like mustard oil, groundnut oil, or olive oil in moderation are far better than refined vegetable oils. And the fourth pillar is the pillar of fiber and micronutrients. Vegetables, fruits, and legumes, they all provide fiber that slows down our glucose absorption and feeds the healthy gut bacteria. This in turn improves insulin sensitivity. So remember that leafy greens, colorful vegetables, and seasonal fruits should be a part of every plate. And these 4 pillars are combined. Your body becomes more responsive to insulin, your blood sugar stabilizes, and your blood pressure naturally improves even without extreme salt restriction. So let us tie all this together. If you truly want to control blood pressure and protect your heart, you need to move away from the old way of thinking that salt is the #1 enemy. Instead, focus on a more holistic approach. Maintain a balanced salt intake. Use normal amounts of salt in home-cooked food, but avoid excess hidden sodium in processed foods like chips, noodles, canned soups, and sauces. This way, you are not overloading your system, but also not depriving it to the point of causing hormonal imbalances. Focus on improving insulin sensitivity through diet, exercise, and lifestyle. Brisk walking, strength training, yoga, they all improve the way that your body handles insulin. Sleep well, as poor sleep also increases insulin resistance. You may manage stress with breathing exercises, meditation, or simple hobbies because chronic stress hormones also worsen the blood pressure. Here, hydration also plays a role. Sometimes people cut down the salt and drink excessive amounts of water thinking it will flush everything out. But overhydration with very low salt can also cause electrolyte imbalance, leading to fatigue, cramps, or even dangerous conditions like hyponatremia. Your body needs both water and electrolytes, but in a balance. Think of your health like a big puzzle, and salt is only one piece, not the whole picture. So by focusing on only salt, you are ignoring the larger picture and more important pieces like insulin resistance, diet quality, physical activity, and stress. So the next time someone tells you to fear salt, remember this: salt by itself is not the villain. The real danger comes from insulin resistance and the modern lifestyle that fuels it. And do you know that almost 25% of adults in India are affected by this modern day problem? Have a look at this video to understand more in detail.